Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of KayFabe Coffee, the show that keeps it real while we pretend it's real. Hey, everyone, I'm your host, Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi, the barista of broken KayFabe, if you will, pouring out hot takes stronger than a Starbucks shaken espresso. Welcome to KayFabe Coffee here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. I am not alone, as you can see this morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning here, February 16th, and I figured I'd spend some more time. If you didn't see, I spent some time with my co-host Ian, who is on screen with me now. Ian, welcome to KayFabe Coffee, man. This is your official debut here.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad because that's a really good intro, and I have yet to listen to an episode, so I feel really bad because that was awesome. I like that. Yeah, usually it's doom and gloom in my bedroom/studio over here. Still, the walls are barren for the OTM fans out there, but there is sunlight. I have opened up the blinds for this morning.
Yeah, as you can see, or you might not have seen, because apparently people don't even pay attention to the ticker at the bottom of the screen because we have that going. It is a pre-recorded episode. We are doing this on Sunday. I spent yesterday, Saturday, which is 2 days ago if you're watching this Monday morning. It's going to get very confusing here as we talk this out, but we got to spend Saturday together on Valentine's Day. We hit the gym in the morning, and then we got to watch Grand Slam together, so it was nice spending some time with you, man.
Yeah, it was a good time. Like you said, the time traveling thing. You also mentioned that it was Friday yesterday to me, and sorry, that's really confusing for the audience right here. Breaking the fourth wall, it's Sunday right now. Yesterday, which is a Saturday,
there it is.
Kyle said it was a Friday yesterday, and that blew my mind yesterday. So that's what happens when your best friend's unemployed. So.
Yeah, guys, I'm unemployed, so while you're here, if you're going to stay here for a little bit as we talk AEW Grand Slam, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Right now, we currently sit, as we are recording this, at 275, so we are only 25 subscribers away from reaching 300, and this is actually going to be the first upload of the week, but this previous week we had 7 live shows uploaded on the network, Ian, which I believe, there's no facts here, I believe that is a record for this network by now.
Yeah, on average, for those that are doing the math at home, that's 1 live show per day, so if you want your fill of Main Event Wrestling Network, you could get it once per day. Well, during our best week, that's usually when you get it. But you will get it every single weekday right here with this show. And Kyle's been doing a fantastic job with it so far. I need to start listening every single morning, is what I'm learning.
I was going to say, I'm getting really good feedback, and surprisingly, every single episode so far has reached triple digits. So I appreciate everybody taking their morning and just like putting this on and having it on in the background. Whatever you're doing, it's working, and we're having a good time. So, Ian, I know most people probably know who you are, but if there's somebody that's checking out KayFabe Coffee and they're just a long-time listener for the past 2 weeks and they don't know who the hell you are, why don't you give yourself a little bit of an introduction, a reintroduction, if you will.
This is kind of tough. Okay, so OTM on the Mark Wrestling Podcast, I'm sure Mr. OTM over there has mentioned it many times, but that is our other podcast. I am part of the trilogy that runs that podcast over there. And when I say run it, I mean I just join it and talk wrestling. And it's usually just AEW that I really enjoy talking about because that's my favorite company, obviously. I'm all about tribalism. That's a joke, by the way, for anybody that is new.
It's not a joke, guys, by the way. It's not a joke.
But yeah, no, I got into wrestling about, I think it was 2017 or so. So a little bit newer into it, but still it's almost been 10 years, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, I met this guy a while back playing some wiffle ball, got me into wrestling. Then I started thinking about talking about wrestling, and they already had the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast with Jim Tucker, our other third, and I just joined along, and somehow they kept me around, so must be doing something all right.
Yeah, and fun fact, this is technically a co-founder of the network, so without us two, there would be no Main Event Wrestling Network. So you guys can thank us all right now live in the comments, which, by the way, I will be live in the comments, actually, while this is going live on Monday. Because I do want to interact with the people, because I know Eric Douglas is probably watching live right now. Kind might even be stopping by to talk Grand Slam. And since we got to watch this together, we kind of already know how we felt about Grand Slam, but it's going to be nice to actually like deep dive and get into things. So you ready to just dive right in?
I am. I've been digesting a little bit more because yesterday I was not in the clear 100% state of mind while watching the show. So,
what do you mean by that? It was Valentine's Day.
Super tired. But I have been digesting today, and I'm extremely excited to talk about it.
Were you digesting that calzone you had last night?
Brother, I'll tell you what, not a good morning.
Oh, calzone didn't sit well.
Calzone did not sit well.
I'll tell you what, the pizza's sitting well with me.
I was going to say, probably because it was probably about 45 minutes before my Uber driver could get here. So, yeah.
That was tough. I ordered mine, I think, 10 minutes after you, and then mine came way before. And I think and then your roommate, who was in his room, ended up getting a delivery as well. In the matter of an hour, we had 3 different deliveries over there. But I made a bold decision, too, a little peek behind the curtain, because this is KayFabe coffee, after all. Like, it doesn't have to always be about wrestling. So we got the pizza last night, which was fantastic. And then I rolled the dice this morning. I stopped at Fair Oaks, at the gas station, and I saw this chicken salad sandwich just in the cooler. And I said, you know what? If it's here at Fair Oaks, it's got to be fresh and it's got to be good. So, of course, I got more coffee. I had the free hotel coffee, which, by the way, best hotel sleep I've gotten in a long time.
Impressive.
So shout out to the Residence Inn in Carmel, Indiana for the good night's sleep. So, yeah, good review on the chicken salad sandwich. Long story short, I took a risk at the gas station. Sometimes you know how that is.
You gamble. Oh, you gamble. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. But
you're a gas station food guy, though. That's
why
I shared that with you.
Especially old me, I will always stop and get a chicken salad sandwich anywhere, any gas station.
Really?
Usually always pretty good. It's the mayo. That's it. Whatever they select to mix mayo-wise with the chicken salad, that's when it's like,
it's got to be Hellman's.
Yeah, 100%. Real mayonnaise.
Duke's is pretty good, too. I don't know if you fuck with Duke's mayo.
Yeah, it's not bad. Expensive.
I cussed in the first 10 minutes. There goes the YouTube algorithm. Sorry for cussing. Shout out to Sketch, right?
Yeah, he's listening.
I almost forgot that he actually was a thing. He's probably... Is he still streaming? Do you even know?
I'm sure, but he's probably gambling with all the rest of the streamers out there.
Fair enough. Yeah, we're technically streamers, I guess, but we don't have the following that Sketch does. But hey, we got you guys checking us out here for episode 7 of KayFabe Coffee. So let's get into AEW Grand Slam that happened this past Saturday. It was a really good show. I think me and you kind of talked before the show started that, and it's funny because it ended up kind of disappointing me, but I do want to preface this by saying I even admitted to Ian in person that I think I hyped this show up to be more than what it really was, because this essentially was AEW Collision. We saw it on the guide. The guide said AEW Collision. This isn't a pay-per-view. Sure, they went overseas. It's a big deal, and it was a strong card, but I think I had set such high expectations to where it didn't maybe live up to them, but that's not me saying that I didn't enjoy the show, because I still thought it was a really strong show last Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, my mentality going into it is this is a really good opportunity because I knew it was still technically a collision. Hopefully this is showing Tony Khan and the rest that are in charge of making those decisions that if you properly book your collision, people will watch Saturday night. It's just you can't keep those rosters separated. And I get it, not every single week is going to be a grand slam, but if you spice a match in there like Tommaso Ciampa's been with that title, well, not anymore, but as he has been the past couple of weeks, people are going to tune in. I had tuned in, and it's because these are people that are established in this company, and I want to watch more of. But yeah, I think the only disappointment looking back, and we'll talk about it more, is like there were no huge surprises. But again, I think that was more on our part that we were overbooking everything. But at the end of the day, it was just a really good show of wrestling. Yeah,
it's really a lot to ask out of AEW to deliver after a Dynamite where they had two surprise outcomes that really a lot of people loved. So you're obviously not going to get those surprises and those shocks on Saturday when you just got them earlier in the week. So it was still strong from top to bottom. So let's start with the first matchup here as Jon Moxley took on Konosuke Takeshita for that Continental title. And of course, it ended in a time limit draw, which I said to you, and this is something we say all the time on OTM. Start hot, end hot. And I think it's a risk to start with a match that ends in a time limit draw. But what they did after the matchup, I think kind of justifies the drawed finish to where I think we would all assume, Ian, that they're probably going to have another matchup in the near future.
100%. Yeah, Takeshita, for those that didn't know, apparently Moxley talking to the ref and then that ref talking to Takeshita was a good audible, and it was a really smart audible, and that just it tells you what kind of guy Moxley is and a wrestler he is right now for AEW. Because without that decision of Takeshita, you need to hit me with your finisher to close off our segment, it would have been a miss. The match was really good. I am, for one, a fan of time limit draws. Obviously, don't overdo them, but I thought this was a good opportunity to do it. I get it. Absolutely, it's the first match. You want to have a banger, and you want to have a good hot start to the card. But at the same time, it's like, well, it was still really good. Just the finish. The finish is like, okay, well, basically just Moxley won the match.
Yeah, I think in hindsight too, we should have assumed while we were watching it by the pace of it and how they were really intentionally telling you 5 minutes left, 10 minutes. We should have put two and two together. I think that's something that me and you were discussing while watching it live. Is how did we not come to this conclusion just because this really is the beginning of this Moxley and Takeshita feud, right?
Yeah, the actual start to this feud, yes. It started in the Continental Classic, and that's how we got into this point. But otherwise, there hasn't been really a lot said or explained about this feud other than the Death Riders don't like the Don Callis family, which is good in its own right, I guess. But this is going to lead to a Revolution match, and I don't know. It makes me think Takeshita's winning that title. But again, it's still Jon Moxley, and he elevates anybody he faces.
That's I see the chatter online. Obviously, I'm online more than you are, and of course, there's people saying that of course Jon Moxley has to win because that's how things go. I do understand that complaint. I could see how people are frustrated with the fact that Jon Moxley always has to win, but sometimes you just got to look at the long-term vision. I know not all fans want to do that because you want something right away, Ian. You want something good, you want it now. You don't want to wait a couple months, but there's bigger fish to fry. Like Australia at the end of the day, which, by the way, that crowd, dude, what was that?
Brutal. This was their last year of contract to have AEW there, and they were like, all right, whatever. I'll see you mates later.
They're like, I guess we're not going to build a resume for the future. That's crazy. Long gone. That really does affect the show, and that's something that me and you also talk about a lot on OTM, is that a good crowd can take a bad show and turn it into an average one, but a bad crowd can take a good show and make it look average, and I think that's kind of what happened last night as a whole.
Yeah, if you're purely looking at the wrestling, it was a fantastic show. But that crowd was brutal. They were invested in the Moxley Takeshita match, which was interesting. They seemed really loud for it. And after that, I don't know if they got hit with a sleep dart or something, because it was...
Well, they fell asleep during the women's tag. They definitely fell asleep during the women's tag, which I didn't mind. I thought it was fine. I just think it's shocking that Megabad, I think this was their second title opportunity, right? They lose. And then afterwards, and her name's escaping me right now, but I think her last name might have been Cross, if I'm not mistaken, from Australia, made her debut afterwards. And it looks like she and Megan Bayne, who this woman, Jay Gold's got a lot of good things to say about. Apparently, she wrestled a little bit in ETU. She's got some size to her. She actually looks like an equal to Megan Bayne. So maybe, Ian, that's the direction that they are going to go forward. Maybe Penelope is just used as the manager. Do you think that's kind of where they're going with this?
Yeah, from the beginning. Her name is Lana Cross, by the way. She's
right.
got
Cross.
Yeah, she's got the look of a superstar. And I think you nailed it right on the head. It's people don't tend to understand you can't just throw Megan Bayne into the solo act, which they tried to do at the beginning when they first brought her in, and it kind of flopped. Like she has everything except the experience on how to be in the ring and how to be a badass.
And it didn't flop because of her, for the record.
No, absolutely not. It's just the experience. It's a lot to ask for somebody. I mean, you can look like a Jade Cargill as well. Jade Cargill went through the same exact motions, especially in AEW. Somebody like Penelope Ford, who is a veteran in the grand scheme of things with AEW, is a good opportunity to teach Megan Bayne and now Lana Cross the ropes, literally, on how to perform in AEW. So it's all a part of the process, and I think this is kind of telling that, hey, Megan Bayne's going to be onto something pretty big. Lana Cross, this is just an introduction. She's not supposed to be the next big thing in AEW. Maybe eventually get there, but this is just supposed to be all right, we see what you're saying about Megabad as a tag team. It's pretty good, but it's not superstar. This is not what our long-term vision is for Megan Bayne. And I think this just tells you how much they're going to push Megan Bayne into the future.
Dude, you better push her. You got to. She's a monster, dude. Like that she should not lose. Megan Bayne should never lose. And granted, she's not the reason that they lost this tag match, which, by the way, good for Harley Cameron. I thought she was going to get a little bit more of a moment in her home country. It didn't seem like the crowd cared too much even about this matchup, which is crazy because me and you were discussing it in person once again. Harley Cameron's one of the most charismatic people in professional wrestling right now. Like, how do you not get behind her? And then for the finish to just be a roll-up, hey, just a little underwhelming, I think is the word. It wasn't bad by any means. No, underwhelming is what I would use.
I have noticed that the roll-up is kind of Harley Cameron's finisher, per se. Just as Orange Cassidy, he has that mousetrap, I think it's called mousetrap pin or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Some kind of roll-up. So she might just be making that a part of her character where she just squeaks by with wins, which is all right. It is Harley Cameron. She is still learning, but yeah, overall, the match was solid. There was nothing that I was like, oh, that stunk. I could have not watched that. There were moments in that match that we even heard some AEW chants, which is, for that crowd, was pretty impressive.
That's asking a lot because we kept making jokes too, guys, while we were watching this, because like Brody would go do a dive into the barricade, and then we would start mimicking the crowd in Australia. We would just be sitting there doing golf claps and be like, woohoo. It's like, I will never understand this, and this is something I've said before, and I'll say it a million times. You spend money to go to a pro wrestling event, and you just sit there in silence? What's the point, Ian? What's the fun?
You just say you're in the building, I guess.
I mean, you traveled all the way to Australia, and we still only got like 6,000 people, too. It's like, is it even worth traveling at that point for those 6,000 people? No. If they're going to react like that, that's bullshit.
Supposedly the report said like for their setup they were pretty much sold out. It was almost 7,000.
It looked good on TV.
It looked fantastic. They looked packed, and then it was just didn't come across on TV. I don't know if there was an audio issue.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a production thing. Who knows? I guess we won't know because we weren't there. But what we do know is that the Babes of Wrath are still the champions. So it's like, who's next in that AEW Women's Tag Team division?
This could be an opportunity to bring up what happened during the house rules.
Why don't you break some news here, even though it's not really breaking news anymore?
Yeah, technically it's so, as in, if this is Monday, quote unquote, yesterday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, by the way. The Iconics, or now known as the Inspiration, showed up to the house rules and announced they are all elite. So
it's pretty cool.
You get a new tag team that is extremely charismatic, and could add to this tag team division that's already pretty damn deep. So I don't know what the plan is. Maybe I hope it's not a Ring of Honor thing. I really hope they are actually brought into Dynamite.
Yes,
make an impact.
Well, you said it. They're too charismatic to not be on TV.
So awesome.
Like, they're gonna do so much for that women's tag team division, and that's something that is strong across all pro wrestling right now.
Oh, yeah.
Women's tag team wrestling is probably the hottest thing in 2026, which is crazy. That and Kyle Fletcher, which we will talk about Kyle Fletcher because that guy's already got, I think, 2 or 3 matches on my match of the year list. He's been incredible, but you add the Inspiration. Granted, they're not in their prime anymore. Let's be real. They both, I think, had children, so bodies change, everything changes, but they still are going to have such a high value because of their experience from the WWE and television wrestling. And just continuity in that division. Like, they could be a staple going forward, similar to like what the New Day and the Usos are for the men's in the WWE.
Yeah, and no kidding. And it's, again, AEW is in a really good spot right now of elevating their younger talent. I'm just looking forward to Harley Cameron running into the Inspiration because I think that is going to be absolutely hilarious.
Wait, she sings her song, right? Isn't she sing I think she sings the Inspiration's intro. Yeah, don't quote me on that. The chat will.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did not know that. I will look that up. But, it's a good opportunity to revitalize their career a little bit. I know they haven't gone anywhere. They briefly, quote-unquote, retired. So, you know how wrestling retirements work. They come right back on the indies, and I think they did some TNA stuff. But it's a good opportunity for them.
There it is. Confirmed. Oh, wow. Harley Cameron sings the Inspiration.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Entrance. That's why I said there's something there for sure. Then that's got to be the direction they're going. Then with the Babes of Wrath, right?
Probably.
That's where the money's at, people. We just told you right now for free on KayFabe Coffee. There you go. I'll tell you this for free too, but you could have figured this out. Hangman Page is going to be facing MJF at AEW Revolution for the second year in a row, which is pretty cool. We know how good their match was last year. My problem is Andrade was being positioned, I think, as one of the top guys in the company. At least that's how I perceived it. He beat Swerve. He beat Kenny Omega. Him not winning here feels like a missed opportunity. I'm sure you could talk me out of it, and I get it. Running back Hangman Page versus MJF, you can't do wrong. That's kind of like doing Roman Reigns versus CM Punk in WWE. Of course, you're going to do that match, but I just feel like all that time that they invested into Andrade just to lose here is a miss, personally.
I am going to say something, and you're going to be shocked. I agree with you.
Usually you go against me when I say a critique about AEW.
No, this was one of those that like I had to digest and just kind of sit back and think about it. Andrade was on a really good moment and a really good tear and was showing off his character, and this new partnership with Don Callis has been super entertaining. Hangman, obviously, we know how good he is and how much he means to the company. So having him face MJF again doesn't put anything in a new spot. And with how big this main roster is and how many top contenders there actually are, it's kind of needed a refresher. And Hangman has the trios title with Jet Speed to fall back on. That could have been extremely entertaining and could have done a lot for Jet Speed if that was his main focus. I get it. It's technically a waste of like singles talent doing that for some people. I don't think it is at all. I think you could be a jack of many trades, especially in AEW, of singles, tag, trios. I mean, look at Brody, look at Brodito. I kind of wish that was the direction they went and kind of gave Andrade the ball and said, here, you've earned this spot. You've earned this selection. I know you and MJF are going to put on a clinic in the ring, and it's going to be extremely entertaining. I don't think whoever faces MJF next, they're not going to win. I think the direction is going to be Will Ospreay versus MJF at All In. So it wouldn't have done any harm putting Andrade through.
I don't think so either, and especially if it's just a one-off, because like you said, we know MJF's not going to lose regardless, and that's why it's hard for me to get excited for Hangman Page versus MJF. One, I think you're going to need to add a stipulation. You're going to have to do something here to make this a little bit more exciting, and that's not taking anything away from either man, because, I mean, these two, Hangman Page and MJF, are probably top three in the company. I would say that Hangman's your top babyface, and I would say MJF's your top heel.
Yep.
So, obviously there's talent there. It's just like, I've seen it before. I know it's going to be good. Why should I care, though, is the thing. But I cared about that match. That match between Andrade and Hangman Page was fantastic, dude. And you talked about it. Andrade got bigger. He kind of looks different in a way. And if anything, I think he looks cleaner in the ring, especially with that finish move.
Yeah, it's everything about Andrade right now is clicking. And I think the mistake with Andrade's first AEW run is it all felt so forced, and it felt like a character was being they were trying to drive a character that Andrade wasn't comfortable with, and it was probably Andrade's decision. But Andrade's had plenty of time with the contract stuff to kind of beef up and work out a lot. Not saying he didn't work out before, because the dude is jacked out of his mind. So
I doubt he works out at a Crunch Fitness, right?
Probably not.
I'm sure he can afford a better gym.
Yeah, I am interested to see what they do with Andrade. I hope this doesn't lead to him breaking off the Don Callis family, as weird as that is to say, because I think what they have, that dynamic between them two, they're very opposite characters, but money talks kind of conversations could be had.
You know my thing with the Don Callis family, though. I, if anything, I want him to get away. I think Andrade would much be better suited if he just gets away from the Don Callis family. But he's probably going to need a voice no matter what, though. Let's be real. We say it all the time.
Yeah, it's non-English speaking wrestlers have a difficult time cutting promos in English. Who would have thought?
Getting over authentically.
Also getting over, exactly. Unless your name is Bandito, because you're just insane in the ring, so...
Well, I mean, I get why people like Andrade, too. I mean, you go back to his NXT days with Johnny Gargano. I think that was, like, prime Andrade. Now we're really going to see if this is, prime Andrade. That's why I was hoping they were just going to pull the trigger, have a one-off with Andrade and MJF, a really strong match at Revolution. and then you could still go to Hangman Page because there's still going to be time to fill between Revolution and All In. So what are you going to do with that title then?
Well, what I'm thinking is going to happen is they're going to have some elite reunion, so I would imagine Hangman gets involved there. But then again, you have Kenny Omega, who's probably going to be pushing his way to a title shot soon, so where does he fit in the grand scheme of things? So
he'd probably be next.
I would agree.
Or Swerve. I mean, that Swerve Kenny match next week in 2 days is a play-in game. It's a play-in game.
Yeah, and which is awesome. I think, like I said, where they're at with this main event scene or the main title scene is ridiculous. You have so many players on the board that, I mean, you even have Bandito that could technically have a reshot at that MJF title. It's like, I mean, he deserves another shot, and he got involved in the match last night. Well, 2 nights ago, sorry. So it keeps you guessing, which is a really good spot for a pro wrestling company.
Well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. And yeah, and the reason Ian messed up his days, if you did not hear, guys, this is not live. Yes, it's live. It's airing live. But we recorded this on Sunday. Happy Monday morning to you. Ian, I hope you're having a great day at work right now.
Yes, I am.
What would you be doing right now?
I would be spraying a building, actually. I'm doing water testing.
Okay, yeah, you spray that shit, Ian, as you listen to yourself talk about AEW Grand Slam. Hey, you know who's bald now? Not me. Oh. We already knew that. Wheeler Yuta's bald, that was probably the most fun matchup on the card, that mixed tornado tag. And it was true intergender wrestling, which, look at, guys, it can be done. How about that, Ian? It could be done in a fun way and done right, and it was done right here in this match.
Yeah, when you have 2 chicken shit like heels going against 2 very fun faces, they're
one of the best faces.
Yeah, when you have Orange Cassidy, who is one of the best, at least definitely in the mid card, but like best faces overall in AEW, and Tony Storm, the best face in probably pro wrestling right now. And going against Wheeler Yuta, that gets fuck Wheeler Yuta chance for 4 years in a row, and Marina Shafir, who is turned herself into something that
we need to talk about her. Yeah,
awesome. Marina Shafir has been absolutely fantastic, and it's a new change of character. I was kind of wishing she would go bald, she'd go full badass, but I get it. She's a mom, so
probably would scare their son. I think they have a son.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure their son's probably already doing backbreakers to everybody in sight, knowing who his dad is. But no, this match was what you expected it to be. These hair gimmick matches are always kind of similar, but of course you had Mina Shirakawa come out and got her lick back because we know Wheeler took a little bit of her hair a couple weeks ago.
By the way, I asked you yesterday.
He wore it.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is in his hair?
We didn't put that together either yesterday. Once again, vitamins and such will happen.
So tired.
Yeah, very tired, very fatigued yesterday after we did have a good gym session. I don't know if people saw it on the Instagram stories. I'm sure they did. We were looking.
We were pumped.
No, we weren't. We weren't.
No, we weren't. No.
I did hit a good bench max, though, so I got that going for me.
That is true.
But yeah, I don't know. Could I outmax Wheeler Yuta, you think? That might be close. That might be close. Because he doesn't have the chest that I have.
No, Wheeler
Yuta. Bald versus bald. Bench max. I dare you.
You know what you do? You go beard on the line for that. Whoever could bench more.
Oh. Here we go. Come on, Wheeler Yuta. I know you haven't tweeted in 2 years. Bring it.
We'll call it the egghead bench off.
Sponsored by the Main Event Wrestling Network. How about that? I'm sure the chat's going to love that idea right there. That's funny.
I do also want to point out with that match how hilarious Jon Moxley was and how well he played his part, because he's in this really big or weird stage right now where he's technically a heel still, but he is showing himself to be a face in times. And more of a wrestler you have to respect, and you're getting the crowd reactions now. Wheeler Yuta,
he's like a sensei.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's a perfect way to put it. But Wheeler Yuta did not want to go bald, and Jon Moxley met him and said, "No, you're going out there." It was like a dad teaching moment. I thought that was absolutely hilarious, and then he was cracking in the corner and trying to hide it.
I mean, that's just tough.
That's brutal.
That's just tough, Wheeler. You're not looking great there, but it's okay. Embrace it. You know, it's fun. Yeah. You don't have to buy shampoo or conditioner now. So you got to look at the bright side after this, right, Ian?
Yeah, the bright side, like the back of his head.
Ooh, okay. Not. I called him out for a bench off, and now you're making comments on his bald head. He's definitely coming for us. He'll never see this. It's okay.
No, it's okay.
We're good. I think we're safe on this one. There, he'll be the first one to respond. Watch. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. Fantastic ladder match. Game 7, if you will. Now, listen, I understand why some people may not have wanted this match. We didn't really necessarily need it, but we talked about it last week, Ian. With him being Australian, it made sense for him to go into his home country as champion. And it ended up being probably, I think I'm safe to assume this is probably your match of the night, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Everything about this match was kind of what we were expecting. Maybe even a little bit more, because neither of these guys held back, which I was shocked, because this wasn't a giant pay-per-view, but you could tell how much this match meant to Kyle Fletcher and getting this opportunity, and they even called it out on commentary that this was his dream, was defending a singles title in his home country. So it makes me think that maybe this is the exact match he wanted, that Game 7 with Mark Briscoe, because they have had an absolutely awesome series, per se, between the two, with the title flipping back and forth. And I think this is just kind of the cherry on top, and it does no harm. It was a little upsetting that we didn't get Tommaso Ciampa, but again, it's overbooking. It's what us fans do. So everything about it was
What did we
death-defying.
get instead? Didn't we get something else in the match? Or was there no interference in this
No
one?
interference. Zero.
Oh. Well, it's the closing of the book on this feud, if you will. And obviously, Fletcher's probably going to pivot back to Ciampa. Maybe there'll be some other challengers. They got plenty of talent on that roster, but you said it very well. I mean, this is probably better than what we expected it to be.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, there wasn't much expectations going into it because there was only a few hours to build to it, essentially. But you didn't really need a build when you had that history between these two men. And now Kyle Fletcher is coming off of arguably the best week of this year, having that matchup against Tommaso Ciampa, and then having this match against Mark Briscoe. Who's going to have a better week than that in this calendar year than what Kyle Fletcher just did?
Good luck. I couldn't tell you because
That's why I'm thinking he might be in consideration, Ian, when we go to the OTMEs and start talking about men's wrestler of the year.
By the way, did not win, what was it, Rookie of the Year or Most Improved last year on the OTMEs?
He got snubbed with something, probably.
Shocking. But, yeah. Kyle Fletcher is absolutely phenomenal, and he is already the it factor in AEW and is going to be the future in AEW. He's still only 28, I think we found out yesterday. 27. Kid is ridiculous. I know he's not going to be super flippy all the time, like Will Ospreay has developed as well.
Yeah.
But he already gets it. He understands it, and he knows how to sell a feud. Look at this feud. It doesn't take much, but we got here, and we got to this point, and it's going to end up turning up into maybe Fletcher versus Okada. We got a little tease of that, where Fletcher asked him, hey, stay out of our match as well. So they're sending these subtle reminders that Fletcher and Okada still has this little hidden beef. So I don't know if we get that at All In, maybe. That'd be cool.
Maybe. It could be the direction they go. I like where you're going with that. I wanted to credit Mark Briscoe, too, because, he's 41 years old, putting his body on the line all the time, spot after spot, and this is something that me and you commented on in person as well. One of the cleanest ladder matches I think we've ever seen. In terms of every ladder spot just was executed perfectly and broke. That's something you can't control in ladder matches. Like Money in the Bank, it's going to be unpredictable chaos. Most of the time, it's probably not going to go their way. I don't know if it did go their way, but they definitely made it seem like a perfectly executed ladder match. Like one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, every single spot was like, oh, gosh, don't do that. And then it happened, and you're like, oh, okay, thank gosh.
Nailed it.
We're good.
Nailed
We're
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
They look awesome on camera, and just from the outside looking in, they're not dead. So it's a good start. Even the brain buster off the ladder. How do you do that and not compress the spine? And again, they nailed it. They did it perfectly, and that gives a lot of credit to Kyle Fletcher and how good he is already and how much respect that Mark Briscoe has for Fletcher and just saying, listen, man, you're lifting me up. You got me. I will try to survive. But, yeah, every single part of that match was fantastic.
Match of the year. It's on my list. Match of the night for sure on Grand Slam. And what Kyle Fletcher is doing, like we said, it's going to be a fun rest of 2026 for him. But while you guys are here, we got one more match, obviously, to talk about. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more main event moves. We're on the road to 300. And also joining me tomorrow, Tuesday morning, to recap Monday Night Raw, none other than Tino from Tino's Time. So I'm having another guest over here. 8 episodes in, I've had JPJ on the show. I've had you on the show. I've had Mr. Cincinnati on the show. And now Tino. So 4 out of 8 having a guest. Not bad.
I'm just thinking about this right now. Because I talked to you about this. I think you've had more guests on than you've had actual coffee, and you were drinking coffee during the show. Some clear-looking coffee, brother. I think you forgot the ground.
That's straight vodka, bitch. It's Monday morning. Stop being a bitch. Get some vodka in your system, people. I'm kidding. It's water. It's just Sunday. It's 5:15. A little peek behind the curtain. Oh, no, it's Monday morning. Sorry.
Yeah.
As I'm watching the sunset to my right.
It's going
great.
out reverse.
Yeah. We're time travelers over here at the Main Event Wrestling Network, if you did not know. Last match to talk about, MJF defeated Brody King. One thing I do want to point out, I'm glad that they gave this match the time it deserved, because as you saw a couple weeks ago, it was a squash match, so we didn't really get the chance to see these two go at it, and boy, Ian, did they go at it. This was a physical match. The story was pretty simple as well. MJF was targeting that need to, loosen up the big fella, to give him more of a fighting chance. And Brody King had a chance. Like, there were plenty of spots in this match where me and you were at the edge of the couch. Like, I thought they had probably the second best match of the night. MJF winning, probably the right call, I would say, in the grand scheme of things. But just what a great match and moment here for Brody King in defeat.
Yeah, and coming off of what Brody and Bandito did last year with Brodito, it just feels like all of this has been kind of a thank you from Tony. You're going to get the opportunity to go out there and challenge for the main title, both of them, and I don't think they're even done. I think they'll stick around this title for a little bit, which I'm not complaining at all, but we're going to get Brodito at some point. My only thing, I'm also like, dang it, because I overbooked it. I was hoping we'd get Buddy Matthews here in some regard.
We
in
got
Australia.
Bandito.
We did get Bandito, which, when he popped out, I'm like, oh, Buddy's coming. Buddy's coming.
Yeah, you were really trying to get me excited for that, but I wasn't buying it. I don't know why.
It's his home country. That's what I was like, man. It's almost a missed opportunity, but then again, it's like, we don't know. We don't know what the plans are.
Probably wasn't ready.
Yeah, which is fair. I think those were the reports that he is. Like, the ankle injury was pretty nasty, so he could still be in rehab and working it out. But as for this match, Brody King and MJF, they were given I think a good 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think it was 25.
Absolutely fantastic from beginning to end. The crowd did not agree, apparently.
Dude, the crowd was so bad for this main event. I'm like, this match is at least a 4 out of 5 stars. Like, come on.
It's impressive how bad that crowd was last night, thinking about it.
Once again, we could be wrong. It could have been the production, it could have been the acoustics in the venue, but I don't think we are. I think Australia, you get the stamp of approval of ass right in your face.
You're not worth flying across the entire half the world. So
you guys are cool. We'll go back to the UK. I think the UK earned their right. Maybe they should try going to Italy or something. Or what was it? France?
Maybe.
France did a pretty good job with Backlash a couple years ago.
No, because you know what we got from France? We got that stupid chant.
Fenomeno,
no.
Fenomeno,
that one sucks,
Fenomeno, That one?
Yeah, I hate that one. And also I hate Cody Rhodes' chants. Or started
Brody King,
stop
Brody.
It.
They did it in this match, and you loved it.
All. No, I told you. I said I hate this chant so much. They're not watching.
People.
They're not watching.
Next time Ian records an OTM podcast, just come in the comments and go, Ian G. He will love it. I did love this main event, though. MJF, fuck, man. I hate giving the devil his due, but he could have a good match with anyone. Mm-hmm. He could tell a good story with anyone. He genuinely is one of the greatest of all time, and we're getting to witness it right now.
And again,
that's crazy.
27 years old, 28, 27, 28, one of the two. This kid is, he's absolutely fantastic. And the future of AEW and the present of AEW. So
why are you calling him a kid? He's older than you.
Yeah, shut up.
I could call him a kid.
That's
then
true.
Again, if he was in front of my face. What do you mean by that?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I was going to get mad that my mom was calling me during a live show, but it's technically not a live show, so I can't get mad. But a little peek behind the curtain, once again, my mom is calling me right now, so she's probably think I'm dying if I'm not going to answer. But it's a good thing that we're done talking about Grand Slam, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, well, she's calling you on a Monday morning. You know, she's really making sure you're awake.
I got to do my laundry today.
Yeah.
Damn it. I got to get going here. But Ian, overall, what were your thoughts as a whole for AEW Grand Slam?
Pure wrestling. I can't give it an A because it wasn't that super like, oh, this was absolutely fantastic. I want to watch it again. I would give it a B plus, and that's a high B plus, 89% or so. No complaints whatsoever, except for I wanted to be wowed and I wasn't wowed, and that was probably my fault. So
we're taking the blame here. We're pointing the finger at us. Don't worry, guys. We can
Fantastic
still criticize things. It's okay. It's okay to criticize things. If you have a different opinion and you get butthurt that somebody's different from you, it's okay. You don't have to hate them. You could get along with them. Me and Ian differ all the time. It's very possible. True. And it's very possible for you to just hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying what we're doing over here, because we got content almost every day at the Main Event Wrestling Network. And like I said, there will be another KayFabe Coffee live tomorrow morning, recapping Monday Night Raw with my boy Tino. Ian, before I let you go, you got any final remarks? I know we're going to get the chance to talk again on Thursday for OTM, so you really don't need to plug that, obviously.
Yeah, listen to us Thursday. And also shout out to the third co-host that we will maybe see this week as well. But it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Watch Mondays, watch Tuesdays, watch Wednesdays, watch Thursdays. Maybe sometimes you're feeling it. Watch Fridays, watch Saturdays. Sundays are not wrestling days, but you have wrestling to watch every single day if you'd like to. And enjoy it. Quit being annoying online.
That's really tough for people to do, but once again, everybody, thank you for hanging out for episode 7 of KayFabe Coffee. I'll catch you tomorrow morning.